Welcome, guys. Welcome to Team Freestyle Build Strong Training. It is Monday, the 17th of September 2018. If you guys are watching the recording, super pumped, excited about tonight. He probably doesn't know this, but when I first started the Juice Plus business 4 and a bit years ago, I'm going to say that this guy's work was probably a big inspiration, a big reason why I made the leap of faith. And although he didn't, personally wasn't the person that kind of presented in front of me, he was a big part of the movement that happened in the UK, and really behind, the culture that they created and this massive momentum. So we have the one and only John Holawaty on Team Freestyle training tonight. So really appreciate his time. I don't think he's on here yet. John, if you are, maybe just send a message and I'll see what your profile is. But it's going to be a super, super fun-packed event. John is very entertaining, as most of you guys know. But he's also got an amazing story, and I'll let him share a little bit about that. Before I do that, though, before John gets on, I'll remind you guys that this month, our month of September, is the first month ever that we have had a month totally focused on qualifying. It is qualifiers month for Team Freestyle. We've got a massive, massive goal, a massive stretch, and I know many of you guys are getting behind that. And I just want to encourage you guys and remind you guys, if you're an SDVF, or SDD or VF, if you're overseas, whatever you are, there is no better month than getting qualified than this month, because we are giving away up to $2,000 worth of cash. We're giving away up to $2,000 worth of cash giveaways for the end of the month. So it's going to be super exciting. Remember to be in the draw, guys, to be in the draw for that 2,000, or get a piece of at least 1,500, quite possibly 2,000 we're going to give away. Then you must be qualified. You must be qualified to get yourself in the draw. So going to be an exciting month. We've got lots of stuff going on. We've got some leaders that are going for some huge team goals, and just in time for the game plan that is happening here on the Gold Coast the end of next month. Just bring your team with massive momentum. It's going to be epic. I can see our guest is on here now, so I might give him a little quick introduction and then let him just crack on, as he would probably say. And we're going to get into it and have some fun tonight. We don't know where this is going to go. But I know that John is very entertaining. He's got a great story to share. John, you didn't hear this, but I'm going to share it again. Little intro. Most of you guys do know John. John doesn't need too much introduction, but John has certainly built, from what I know, I think there's only 2 or 3 other people that have built any sort of business at the scale of what John has over the last 5 to 7 years. At the heights of his business was almost a 1,000 clubber, which is just phenomenal. And I know when I first started the business, John, you were really the inspiration behind me having a look at Juice Plus. So although you probably don't realize, you played a big part in me being here and us being able to change our life. So we really appreciate you. And I don't know if I've ever said this in front of John, but when I heard John's story and I heard what he had done, I made a crazy claim that I'm going to be the John Holawaty of Australia. So I'm that cool. I'm not as cool as John. We've both got hats on, but I better turn mine back to front and we can both play the John. But it's certainly been a big inspiration to me, buddy. I really appreciate everything you've done, and you probably don't realize how much you've inspired around the world with the Juice Plus movement. But, mate, it's great to have you on. And where are you these days? I heard you're in the UK, but you're back home. What's going on with you?
No, so yeah, I'm back in the. Let me just show you the very grey and green UK. I'm here for another 2 days, and then I'm back. I'm going to the UAE for a while, so I'll be out in just outside of Dubai. So it's 47 degrees over there at the minute. It's the only place I've ever been where you have to go inside to cool down. It's ridiculously. So good. Thanks for the intro, man. Really appreciate it. And likewise, right back at you guys. It's the thing I love about this business is we inspire each other in one way, shape or form. And there's things that you've said to me when we've been having a beer and stuff that has resonated years ago And last year when I was over there, and I remember flying back to the UK thinking, you know what, Adam's right, we really need to implement some of this stuff into our team. So that's what I love about our business. It's all about caring and sharing and helping each other get where they want to be. So yeah, ready to rock and roll, man.
Awesome, buddy. I appreciate it. I know many people, or probably some people have heard your story, but maybe love for you to hear your story. I know, a lot of us hear the glory about what's happened, but we don't always hear the real stories, what goes on behind scenes. And I did hear a rumor once upon a time. I was at an event in Brisbane, and one of your good mates lives there. I'm not sure if you know who that is. And he told me that you used to sell Juice Plus out of the boot of your car. Is there truth behind that? And tell us a little bit about the business in the beginning, because it didn't get off to a flying start, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually my 9-year anniversary this month. So 9 years this month I've been involved with the company. So back then, 9 years ago, I was a personal trainer. I loved what I did. I love helping people. I just love people. I love connecting every single day. And for those of you that know me, know that I like a party as well and a good time. So when I saw the opportunity, I was kind of a little bit stuck. I wanted more out of life. I was working every hour under the sun. I was starting at 6 o'clock in the morning, finishing at 10, 11 o'clock at night. I was working weekends. You name it, I was doing it. And what was ironic was I was working my butt off, but I was still broke. I was still living at home with my parents, was sharing a car with my mum. And as a PT, I was just like, how can I'm changing lives. I'm helping people not only with the fitness goals, but with the mindset and the confidence. And I should not be broke. It doesn't make any sense for personal trainers to be broke. I just don't get it. So I started to look for something else. I qualified as a teacher. I started working at a local college, and I was earning less teaching lessons. I was teaching all the soccer academy players. I was earning like $20 an hour. By the time you'd done the lesson planning and the marking, it had gone down to like $5 an hour. And I was just like, you know what, this isn't the answer either. And I stumbled across Juice Plus, and it just made total sense to me. I mean, to be honest, in my opinion, it's the best product in the world. And it is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best business model in the world for average people, for normal George people like me, like yourself, like everybody on this call, for ordinary people to create an extraordinary life for themselves and to help other people do the same thing. And, the fact that it was risk-free, $50 to get involved or whatever it is for you guys over there, that was a no-brainer. The business model, and it just hit the timing with social media, where Facebook had really started to get some momentum, and we just got in, I think, at the right time. And I honestly thought it was going to be easy. I remember looking at it going, why isn't everybody doing this? Like, this is a no-brainer. It's been in the UK since 1993 and no one's really done anything with it. I don't think there'd been an NMD for 10 years when I joined. So the last NMD was like 10 years before. Anyway, dived in and made an absolute mess of it, so which is pretty standard for me. So dived in, thought it was sales, tried to sell everybody in the gym. I was walking around, and this was before we had all the cool YouTube links and stuff. It was all DVDs and information packs. I was just handing out all these DVDs. The problem is, you hand someone a DVD, they don't even watch it. Then you might, can I have that DVD back? Have you watched the DVD? No, I've not watched it yet. Or I've watched it, it's not for me. I've read the information. And I was like, I became a Juice Plus vampire. Literally, everyone was like that. Get away from me, get away from me. I don't want to hear about it. It was the first thing that I would say. And, it was a big lesson for me, because I think when we telling people what they need to do is when you immediately lose the sale. But and Jim Rohn's so right, you can still do it badly and get a result. And I wouldn't advise doing it badly, but the fact that I was going through that many numbers eventually meant that I got one customer. And that was the light bulb for me. My first customer was my mum. Now I had to get my mum in a headlock and be like, Mum, you've got to order this product, like you've got to take it, you need it. And my mum was my first customer, but my first real customer was somebody that I used to train, someone that I gave the information to. And I was like, right, if I can get one person that will take this product, then we can get 1,000 people. And if I can get one person to join, then we can get 1,000 people to join. And the first guy that I signed up to recruit into the team, he quit after 2 weeks. He said it was too hard. I mean, imagine that, giving something a go for 2 weeks. And again, it was just a learning curve, man. And I kind of cheated my way to sales coordinator. I turned my mum from a customer into a distributor. Again, I had to get her in the headlock. So you are going to join the team. And it was back when you needed 3 DD legs, or DVF. I think you guys call it over there. So 3 DVF legs, and you could be sales coordinator. So I kind of manipulated my way to sales coordinator, and then that was it. It was all stuck, man. It was completely, I wasn't moving anywhere. And I always believe, like, you've got to dive in, and if you want this badly, you've got to put yourself in the situation where you're going to meet other people. And I heard you just talking about your 90-day game plan event and that kind of stuff. Like, guys watching this, these are the events that will change your business. It might not be any of the speakers. You might watch all the speakers and think, yeah, I've heard that, that's cool. Might just be one conversation at the bar. Might be a conversation in the queue to get into the event. And it happened for me. I went to Limerick in Ireland. The speakers were amazing. You know, Lauren was over there at the time. I was sales coordinator. Jeff flew in, and they were all inspiring and all that kind of stuff. The usual thing that we get. But I got into a magical conversation with a girl who gave this line to me, and it was, the people who get you to one position probably won't be the people that help you get to the next position. And right then, in that second, the penny dropped. Now, that wasn't in the convention. It was outside the convention. So I was like, got it. I need to recruit more people. I need to bring in more people. We kind of then, after that event, that's where that's the same event where Team Rhino was formed. Again, we were just stuck. Me and my upline was stuck. We were like doing events. No one was showing up. We were talking about enzymes too much, I think, and phytonutrients, and it was all a little bit scientific and unduplicatable. And after that event in Limerick, we said, right, let's go recruit. Let's change our tactics. And we turned the business, because for me, the product's a no-brainer. Like, we don't do events on oxygen, and we don't do events on water. So why do we need 2-hour events that tell us why we need to eat more fruit and vegetables? Like, it's so simple. So we flipped our events from being very product driven to being still product driven, but much more opportunity driven. We cranked up the volume on the opportunity, and that was a game changer for us in terms of changing our strategy slightly. And then a girl who we all know and love came to one of those events. She was in my team at the time, struggling. And Katie came into that meeting that time. And again, it's that never giving up attitude. Katie would never come to any events. And I was like, Katie, just do me a favor, come to one event. And we did an event in Manchester. I said, if you don't like it after this, I said, you can delete me, you can block me, you can unfriend me, whatever. Just give this event one more chance. Just give it one chance. And that event she came to, and again, the penny dropped for her. Something clicked. She went away on social media. And I remember about 5 days after that event, I looked on my online office and it said, you have one distributor with 5 customers or more. And that was the first time that had ever happened to me without me giving people orders and stuff. So then again, a little bit like when I got the first customer, it was like, now I've got a distributor that's actually doing something. Now I've got somebody in my team that gets it and wants it and is hungry. And I was just like, right, let's go. And we worked harder than I've ever worked in my life, probably. And back then there was no Zoom calls. So we were literally doing events all over the UK. We were starting in Manchester. I would finish, my boot camps in an evening, and I would drive to an event. And then when I went a bit more full-time into Juice Plus, I would open an event in Manchester. And then I would get in my car and drive an hour just in time to close the event somewhere else, stay in a hotel that night, have a few beers, drive to Birmingham, do an event there. And we were literally zigzagging across the UK doing events in all the little pockets, all the little fires that were going on. Now we don't need to do that as much because obviously we've got Zoom, which is a total blessing. But the same thing goes, work ethic wins every single time. And, back then that was when we got momentum and we worked harder than ever before. So I will say this, you get paid for the things that you do at the beginning and it shows up in your bank account sometimes years later. So you guys that are kind of feel like you're skiing uphill at the minute, just keep going, just keep the activity up, and eventually you will hit a breakthrough. I can't tell you when it's going to come, but you will get there eventually. Because, you know, when I look back at my story, I'm like, imagine if I'd have give up. You know, when my parents were saying, why are you doing this, John? You're not making any money. When my friends were laughing at me. When the other personal trainers, and you know, like, personal trainers are ruthless. Like, the banter is hardcore, right? So I was getting battered off the personal trainers. Here he is, the world's smallest fruit and veg dealer. He's got the world's smallest grocery store, and there was capsules in the gym and stuff. So, you know, you have to put up with a bit of the banter as well. But you know what? It's all been worth it, and it's been an incredible journey. And when you get that momentum, that's when you work even harder. Because I got to a point where I was like, now it's working. I don't want anybody to say I told you it wouldn't last forever. So I always have the thing is, you might work as hard as me, but you can't outwork me. That's my message to my team. If you can match me, then great. But if I see you working harder than me, then I'll step my game up and I'll raise it. I'm not the smartest, as you guys probably can tell, but I know a simple system, and I know when you work the system, it works for you. So, you know, 9 years in, and it's not been easy, Adam. You know that we've had conversations where my business people started to leave the company. They got the bright light, shiny syndrome. They got distracted by something newer, something quicker, something faster, which obviously wasn't the case, but they got distracted by that. And, you know, we've been through a bit of turmoil in the UK, probably since 2014, the back end of 2014. And I've had to keep going. And, you know, there was something that you said to me last year. And this is why I'm saying to you guys, I urge you to get to the events. Adam said something to me in the queue. I think we were queuing up for a beer or something like that. And he just said, you know, I remember your business when it was flying and you had a really good system. He said, but from looking at what you're doing right now, it doesn't look like you've got that system anymore. And I was like, shit, you're fucking right, man. You're so right. And so I thank you for that, because since that conversation, I went back to what we did at the beginning and we put a system in place. And we've been using that system now for probably 12 months. And this has been the best year I've had in my business in terms of growth. Since the middle of 2013, back end of 2013, 2014, this has been my best year. And like I said to you guys earlier, sometimes it feels like you're skiing uphill. I've been skiing uphill, even though it's been great and I've got an amazing business and, you know, a beautiful life I'm totally grateful for. I've been skiing uphill for a few years, but this year it's really, really, really kicked in for us again. And I'm starting to ski downhill a little bit. We've got momentum. You know, we've just broke a new NMD in Finland, of all places. I can speak 3 Finnish words. So and again, it's the same system. It's just like the system works. You just got to work the system. So I want to say thanks to you, man, for that word of advice in the queue.
It's my pleasure, mate. It's nice to know that I can reciprocate. I want to just go back to, like, you found Katie, and obviously she helped, like, you found your real first believer. For you, how long did it take you to find Katie? Like, how many years?
So the weird thing was, I used to train a lad called Rick. Yeah. Rick's Katie's brother. So he said, oh, my sister would be interested in this. The weird thing is, right, everyone who I was speaking to and my parents were very negative about the business model. It was a pyramid scheme. It was, you know, blah, blah, blah. It was a scam. When I told Rick about it, he brought his dad to the event, and his dad was really, really positive about it all. He was like, yeah, this is amazing. I think Katie could do this. Now, again, it's the Jim Rohn thing. You share an idea with enough people, it will fall on good ears. So not everybody was negative, and it only took 1 or 2 people. So Rick's dad, Alan, brought Katie to the next event. Katie joined. I'll never forget. She was sat at the back of the room with a little pink pen, writing notes. And I said to her, you could do really well with this. And she joined up, and she got about 3 or 4 chewable orders, but that was about it. And I remember going to events, taking pictures and sending them to her saying, you should be at this event. We went to a big event in Barcelona. I invited her, but she didn't come. Went to a big event in London. She didn't come. And I was just trying to get her to come to these events, and she didn't. So she was doing it for about 2 years, or maybe 18 months. But that event that she did come to was the catalyst. So I'm not a big believer in motivating people, but I do think there's a lot of merit in trying to keep in touch with all your team. Whether you just drop them a message once a month, once a week, you invite everybody to the event. I never give up on people, because if I'd have done that with Katie, then I wouldn't be doing this call right now, to be fair, because she's the person that really did the social media thing before anybody else. She put our system into social media, and then we use social media to fill the events. So, you know, you might have somebody in your team right now that is one distributor away or one new team member away from totally transforming the business. And one person can change your business. That's the beauty of it. And that's why you should never give up, because it might be one conversation in a coffee shop. It might be one friend request that you accept on Facebook where that one person comes in and lights it up for you.
It's awesome. It's awesome. The other thing that was certainly impressed me, John, and obviously when I saw what you guys are doing, you're making it cool and fun. And obviously, no matter what you're doing, culture is important. Like the events that go on, that sort of thing. Like, how important is it that, you know, like for instance, on the Gold Coast this weekend, we're doing freestyling at the races. I wish I could invite you, buddy. You'd be the first person there, I know. But we're doing a fun day at the races. Like, just getting there, being there, but also bringing people along just to be a part of the culture, rather than like, oh, I want to get them in the business. Like, how important do you think that is? And then what should people be doing, and how should they be showing up?
So it's a great question. And I've just had this conversation this morning. I was voice noting one of the girls in my team, and she said, oh, I've got a new girl in my area, but I could help one of my team members out and pass her down line. And I said, you know what? You need to be building culture in your area. You need to be getting team members together, whether it's a wine bar or a coffee shop, a day at the races, a day at the, you know, a lot of mums in the business, play group, whatever. The culture is the glue that keeps this business and keeps the people involved and keeps it fun. You know, anyone can make money doing anything really, but the thing for me was, and why I stuck at it, so when I was earning $50 a month, you know, was the fun that I was having. I was having a lot of fun in the business. So even if I didn't make the money, I was still meeting up with friends. We were all like-minded. We were all on the same mission. So the culture is the really big thing that keeps this all together. And the tough times, you know what, you're going to get tough times. Companies launch, people start trying to poach your leaders. You know, there might be an article in the paper about something. You just never know what's going to go on. And that culture and that trust and that love and connection that you guys build is the thing that will keep you together through the tough times. And, you know, success is never an easy ride. There's always going to be little things that go on. And like I said, we've been skiing uphill for the last 3 years. And the culture that we created has kept a lot of our people together. I mean, I remember going into 2017 and and thinking, yes, new year, new start, everything's going to be good. It was our very first NMD meeting, and then rumor went around that one of our NMDs was in the room telling all the other NMDs that she was leaving to go to another company, and this would be, and I'm like, wow, what a great start to the year. Do you know what I mean? So you're always going to get little things like that, and the culture, and we just laugh about it now. It's funny. It's one of those things that happen because we were so strong as a unit that nothing could break us. And that's where the culture comes in. And let's face it, people are stressed enough in the normal jobs. People join the Juice Plus opportunity because they want to get out of the thing that they're doing. Well, if they jump from one stressful job to something else that's even more stressful, that's all about pressure and sales and this and that, then they're not gonna stay very long. It's got to be fun. It's got to be cool. It's got to be relaxed. I mean, you guys have got you're in the perfect country to build that sort of thing. And I've seen that culture over there. I've had a lot of good fun with you guys when I've been over. So yeah, culture is vital, and you can build that yourself. I wouldn't just wait on the leaders to do it. You know, you can have an in-home meeting where you start to build your own little culture, and then that culture then goes to the bigger culture, and so on and so forth. So start with yourselves, guys. You know, do your meetings in cool places, have an in-home party, wine and wellness, whatever you want to call it. Bros and beers, business and beers, whatever, I don't know. But you can get people together and really create something that lasts. Because I'll tell you something, Katie only ordered the chewables, right? So you might be thinking, it's just a chewable order. Like I get paid $5 commission for that. But if I hadn't have looked after Katie and I hadn't have kept in touch with her and I hadn't have done all that kind of stuff, then that chewable order turned into $1 million business for me. Do you know what I mean? From one chewable order to $1 million business. So when you track it back, you got to be looking after everybody. You got to make everybody feel included. You got to make everybody feel special in your team, whether they put in one order on a month or 10, whether they put in one order on a year or 10. Like that one order, that one team member that they bring in could be the difference. So, yeah, definitely create your own little get-togethers as well, and then feed into the bigger ones that you guys are doing.
It's awesome. It's awesome, John. I know, look, companies come and go, and I think it's an interesting conversation. And certainly as a distributor, like for you, even what you guys have been through, to not get distracted or lured away. And I'm sure you've been approached numerous times and doing that. So I think one is, what's kept you here through the tough times, through the times where, you know, it isn't like this all the time, but then also, what do you notice of others from your experience when they do start to hop, and what's some of the lessons you may have learned there?
Cool. Great question. And I think it's a question that should be asked a lot more, to be honest, by, you know, when I'm on other calls and things like that, because, you know, this isn't just all sunshine and roses, right? There are going to be tough times. And whether it's when you're building in your family and your partner doesn't get it, they don't understand the business, or your parents don't understand it, or your friends, you start to slowly move away from your circle of friends that you've grown up with because they don't really get where you're going or what you want to do. And I think there's always going to be change. That's the key. So when companies started to launch, my opinion's this, and there's a saying in football, like, and I'm not a Manchester United fan, by the way, but they're like the biggest club in England. Like, there's Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal. But if you leave Manchester United, you only really can go down. At best, you can go sideways. But there ain't really anything above Manchester United, right? And I totally believe that it's the same with our business. Anyone who leaves, I don't know a better product than this, number one. Show me a better product than this, and show me a better business opportunity where we're not buying stock, we're not delivering products. You know, it's all automated. Have we got the best IT system in the world? No, we all know that, right? But that's probably the only thing that, and the company are working on this, spending $30 million on a new IT system. But other than that, the product is bulletproof, right? We're a company that was started in 1970. You know, we are a Rolls Royce. I hear Jeff talk about it all the time. We are a Rolls Royce company. And for me, there is no upwards move from this. It's only, at best, you're going to go sideways. So that's as a simple business question, that's my answer. In terms of the fun and the friendships and the love and everything about this is what keeps me here. And, you know, it's the connections and the fun. And I've seen people leave and think they can recreate what we created with a different company. And the hype, here's the thing, right? Hype will get you so far, but eventually hype disappears, right? And then when the hype goes, then people go. And if you build it just purely based on money, when the money slows, guess what? Your people start to leave, because everything duplicates. In our business, everything duplicates. So if you jump ship, and you take people with you on the promise of more money, when the money dries up, guess what? People jump ship again, because you've taught them to leave when it gets tough. Everything duplicates. Like the best thing about our business is, I know for a fact the leaders that I've got in my team now have stayed through the tough times. So they're going to start to hit the growth spike again. And everything's a cycle. We'll have opportunity mixed with difficulty. We'll have good times where everything seems to flow. And then we'll have some tough times where there's a bit of chaos and few challenges that we've got to get over. But all this stuff makes us stronger. So again, it duplicates. So you create stronger leaders by digging in, by showing up, by working harder than you ever. Hey, it's tough. Do you know what that means? We're going through a tough time. We're going to have to do more events. We're going to have to do more calls. We're going to have to, you know, work harder than we ever have done before. We have to get up an hour earlier. Like everything that the people that are having success right now in our business are doing, the ones that left, and I saw it, I could name you like people that used to be in my business that left to go to another one. 6 months later, they left that company and went to a different company, and then another company. And now some of them aren't even in the industry, or some of them are on the 7th company by now. Guess what? They're deflated. They've defeated themselves. And there's a lack of patience, I believe, in our industry. And that's why I think Juice Plus really is separate from network marketing. I know we're technically a network marketing company, but in essence, I don't believe that we are. I honestly think that there's, oh, the little baby agrees. So, yeah, I think we're a cut above that, and that's what I would say, mate, on that one. I don't think there's anything like what we've got, and the way we go in, I honestly go to these meetings and I think, wow, we haven't even really started this thing yet. I truly believe Juice Plus will be like the Coca-Cola of the whole food supplement industry. It'll be in every household. It'll be the #1 brand. And we're at that point now where we're about to make that breakthrough and go through that massive, massive growth phase again. New countries launching in the next 3 to 5 years, new products, better IT systems. You know, if we can do it with the IT system that we've been using right now, imagine what we can do when we've got an instant updater that tells you on your phone you're 2 orders away from promotion, rather than having to get your calculator out and work out everything. So, you know what, we're in a great position. So my advice is, don't get distracted. Don't let somebody talk you out of your dreams. And, you're in the right place with the right people. That's the #1 thing. The right product, the right company, but most importantly, the right people. What you guys are doing over there is incredible. And I was there last year for the event on the Gold Coast, and it was just mind-blowing. It was inspiring. I'd seen it before, but it was just so good to see it again and like really get a hit and get charged up from it myself. So, you guys are so blessed to be a part of this group, and massive things ahead. So just stay focused. I always say this, keep your blinkers on like the racehorse, yeah? You're going to the races, so you'll be able to do your homework. Look at the horses with the blinkers on. They're the ones that, they're not running into the other lanes. They're just focused going forward, and that's what you've got to be. Don't look left, don't look right, and you'll be fine, because there ain't anything better than this. Trust me.
It's awesome. One thing I'm interested in, like you've seen so many people come into our business, some create success, some don't. Do you think if there was one thing, like if these guys were thinking, I really want success, this motivates me, is there one quality or one thing that you think's more important than anything else to really create success?
I think consistency is the thing. I've seen so many people build it for a couple of weeks, get some momentum, then they get distracted. Maybe it's a hen party, or, it's someone's birthday and they drop the ball for 2 or 3 days. And then they get up on the Monday morning and they're feeling down in the dumps. Or maybe a customer has cancelled the order and they lose momentum. So my biggest thing is consistency. That was the difference for me. When I had my breakthrough, it was on day 72 or something like that, of day 72, day 73 of a 90-day game plan. It wasn't day 20. It wasn't day, 6. It's the same as the gym. You don't see a lot. I'm one of those guys. On January the 3rd, I'm looking in the mirror like I've done 3 days eating clean and I'm looking for my abs. Do you know what I mean? They're nowhere to be seen. But we all look, right? We're all like, why isn't this stuff showing up? We do it in our business. We go to 2 meetings, we jump on 3 calls, and we're expecting to be NMD. You have to play the long game. The people that play the long game, the people that stay focused and consistent, are the ones that win. Activity, like I say it all the time, you're never going to get sore thumbs. No one has ever had a day off work from sore thumbs. That's all we need now, right? That's it. You're never going to wake up and go, I can't do a Facebook post today. I can't add 1 more person today. So going through the numbers game, and being consistent, man. You've just got to do the activity. I mean, it's not hard work, is it really? This isn't, I'm sat here having a coffee, chatting to you guys in Australia. Like this isn't hard work. It's just fun. Like I could do 10 more of these calls, no problem. And I wouldn't be like, oh, I've got to do another call. Like I've got our opportunity call tonight. Some people are working on the motorway, laying traffic cones at 4 o'clock in the morning. Some people are working in hospitals trying to save, ill and injured patients. And I remember bringing an eye surgeon into my business. and he showed me his diary, and he said, look at all these appointments. Now he's probably on 100 grand a year, right? And he said, look at all these appointments, and he had back-to-back appointments. He said, do you know what happens if I make a mistake? Someone could go blind, and I will also lose my job and be sued. If we make a mistake in this business, we just laugh about it, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that. Like, this is a stress-free, pressure-free, you know, and this is what life's about, in my opinion. It is about being chilled. It is about having fun. And you've just got to see this opportunity and run with it. You're condensing a 30-year career into 3 to 5 years. That's all you're doing. So you've got to work harder than you've ever worked before to compound that time. It's like someone said to me the other day, oh, I'm up from 6 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, okay, so what are you doing from 11 till 6? You're sleeping. So sleep less. Do you know what I mean? Those 2 extra hours in the evening, go to bed at 1 a.m., get up at 6. Those 2 extra hours. I remember like living at home with my mum and dad, and I used to come in at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd done personal training all day, and then I'd driven to an event, and my mum and dad, they were like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Like, why are you working like this? I'm like, because I know it won't be forever. I know eventually it'll pay off. You know, finish a boot camp at 7:30, jump in the car, drive to an event in Birmingham, an hour and a half away, just get there in time to do my testimonial, and then drive back. I remember getting on a train from Manchester to Glasgow. It was a 3-hour train journey. I spoke at the event for 30 minutes. I got back on the train and went home. Spent more time on the train than being at the, you know, than being in the event. These are the things that people a lot of the time don't see. So, you know, and it's all worth it. I just saw a comment now. What do your mum and dad think now? I mean, you know, last year I flew my family, my partner Vicky, my mum and dad, my brother and his wife flew up. We went to Vancouver. We did an amazing trip all around Canada, Banff, Whistler, Vancouver Island. We saw the killer whales. I put my mum on a helicopter for the first time in her life, and I'll never, like, that smile. I can see it now. She was sat at the front of the helicopter, and she was just beaming. And we were flying over the Okanagan Valley through the wine regions, and you know, that was worth it. Like, that smile right there was worth every early morning get up, every negative comment that I received on Facebook, every late night phone call, every event that I drove to, and all that stuff. It's worth it. And to be able to do that is to pay for that for your family, just to say thanks, is incredible. And it's a good, like, I told you so as well. You know what I mean? It's a nice, like, yeah, you know I was right. So yeah, it's worth it, guys. Trust me.
I love it. Hey, John, when I can see you back in build mode and doing that. And a lot of these guys are going to be inspired by it tonight. And they're like, that's it. Now I really want to step into this and make this thing happen. You know, if there was 1 or 2 things that you're going to get someone to do when they're getting started, where they've been here for a while and they're just ready to really get started, what do you think those 1 or 2 things are when they're kind of in that mood of, let's do this?
Do you know what? I would just go back to the basics of the business. Like right now, if you're inspired after this call, then go write your list again. Go revisit your list. I guarantee there's people on that list right now that you could reach out to and say, hey, you know what? Maybe the timing wasn't right for you back then, but I'm more inspired than I've ever been before. I'm really excited about the future. I'm not where I want to be just yet, but I'm going there. This might be the time. Here's some information. Here's our next call. Here's a recording, whatever. Straight in. And because you're fired up now, you're excited. Send them a voice note. Say, hey, I know it wasn't for you. Maybe there's somebody right now on your list that will think, you know, the timing might just be right for them. So that's what I would do. I would go back to your list. Maybe you put a post on Facebook, something direct. I don't like to mention Juice Plus at all on anything that I do on social media. I like to keep it pretty quick, cryptic and inquisitive, and, you know, get out there, do a Facebook Live. Like the number one thing, and Tony Robbins says it all the time, like when you're inspired, you've got to take action straight away. There's no point going, oh, I feel really inspired now and I'm going to do something on Tuesday, right? No, do now. Like, somebody's on Facebook right now. I don't know what time it is over there, but there'll be someone on your social media feed right now that will sign up. Someone right now on your social media that is looking for the opportunity that you've got do a Facebook Live. Wow, just come off a call, really inspired. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. There's 390 people on this call. If everybody does a Facebook Live right now, someone's lives are going to get changed. Simple as. So activity always wins. Go write your list, go contact everybody, go follow up, and just do like this. We get paid for 3 things: getting customers, bringing team members in, and teaching people how to do the same thing. That's it. The more you do of those 3, the faster your business will grow, the bigger your business will grow.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Mate, biggest lesson you've learned over the last 9 years? If there was one lesson that you've really had to learn the hard way, what do you think it's been?
I think it goes back to the advice that I got. You know, if you'd have told me that the guys that left were going to leave, I would never have believed you, because we're all having so much success. So it goes back to the point that the lady said to me: the people who get you to one position won't be the ones that necessarily get you to the next position. So you've got to be, I call it ABB, always be building, ABB. So I'm bringing in new people this month. I've got new people. I've got a new guy signing up in Paris. I've got a team. We're starting a new team in Denmark. I'm over in the UAE building over there. And, you know, I just think this business, it never stops. You can never stop building, because you never know what's around the corner. So that would be my number one piece of advice. And it's fun. Like, what isn't fun about building a new team and saying, hey, I'm just flying off to Paris to do an event, or I'm just flying over to New Zealand or Singapore for you guys. You know, like this is cool stuff, right? So, yeah, it's the ones that, the new people, the new blood that will keep you inspired. And I think we have an obligation to share these products and share this business opportunity. I was over in the UAE 2 weeks ago, and we were chatting to one of the servers, one of the waiters. I'm not sure what you guys call it. We call them waiters. But yeah, one of the waiters was on our table, and he was telling me about what he was earning per hour, and he was sending money back to the Philippines. And you see the tragedy that's going on there at the minute with the typhoons, and you're just like, if I don't share this opportunity with him, then I'm not doing, like, this is wrong. I have to. So I was like, mate, I don't want to like pitch you or anything like that, but I'd love to send you some information about what I'm doing. It might be for you, it might not, but if I don't share it with you, then I'm committing a crime by not telling you about this, especially after what you've told me and about the money that you've got to send home to your parents. Even if you make an extra $500 a month with this is surely going to help your family out. So having that mindset of we're the ones with the gift, guys. Don't feel like we're pressuring people. We're sharing an opportunity. Whether they do something with it or not is up to them. We're just the messenger, right? We're just sharing the message. And, once you've done that, I always say at our events, you can't say you never had a chance now. You can never look back after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years of your life and go, oh, I never had the opportunity. Because everyone's had the opportunity. You guys have all got the opportunity on this call tonight, and you've got to do something with it. And if you do, you can create the most incredible life for you and your family. So, yeah, that'd be my number one piece of advice. Always be building.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's funny you say that. One of your buddies, Eric Warrior, actually got to have a game of golf with him over here while he's doing the GoPro event. And I asked him the same question. If I wanted to double my business in the next 12 months, what's the one thing? And I was like, well, you need 20 more team members. It's pretty simple. You need to personally, I'm like, come on, isn't there a different way? He goes, no, 20 more team. That's the simple thing. So, I think whether it's 20 guys or 10 or 5, you got someone at John's caliber, getting back to work and always building is just a great thing to go back to. It's time and time again that we're kind of looking for the secret, but sometimes we don't want to know the secret. You're like, so I have to work hard? Is that what you're saying? Which is a shame for some of us. We wish it was easy. You don't wish it was easy though, John, do you? You like it that it's a little bit challenging?
I love it, man. I love the business in Finland. We've been through such a crazy journey. Uplines leaving, bad articles in the press, bloggers, you name it, all this stuff. And finally the girl's had some incredible breakthroughs. She's built a pay line has just gone through the roof. And if I showed you the graph, it's after 2 90-day game plans, not one. One got it stable. The second one brought in the growth.
Amazing.
So You know, I love these challenges. I love going over to the events and speaking. And if it was easy, it wouldn't be fun, honestly, and you would never grow.
So good, mate. I appreciate your time. I really do. I know that you're jetted back home, but you got lots going on and business is building really well. We're really stoked for you guys, and we're looking forward to hanging out. No doubt we'll get to hang out sometime soon. We won't be in Barcelona. I heard there might be, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to say it, a new product getting released in Barcelona, which is exciting. So you guys got lots of exciting stuff going on in Juice Plus.
Yeah, we've got, I think there's a new product launching, and we've also got Bear Grylls who's speaking. I don't know if you guys know Bear, but he's sharing his story. He's been taking Juice Plus since he was about 12, I think. There's actually a picture of him on top of Everest with a Juice Plus t-shirt. He was the youngest guy at the time to climb Everest. So it's going to be really, really cool. We're going to have 10,000 people in Barcelona. Can you believe it? 10,000. So yeah, it's going to be crazy cool. And we've got a big rhino party. So if any of you guys decide you want to come out to Barca, then let us know, and we can hook up with you guys, and we'll show you some European party time.
Amazing. Oh, you're making me want to go now, but I've traveled away. I promise that I'm not going. So maybe I'm still open. That's awesome. So good, mate. Really appreciate your time. I know you've got lots going on, and to kind of I just want to quickly say, guys, don't forget about, you guys heard John tonight about culture, you know, how important culture is. If you're on the Gold Coast, if you're in the vicinity of the Gold Coast, come to the game. Come to the races this Saturday. It's going to be lots of fun. But John, just to see you out, mate, we're just going to give you the standard freestyle love. You guys know what to do. Thanks, John. We appreciate your time.
Cheers, Adam. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, John. That was awesome.
Awesome.
Bye.
Appreciate your time.
John, bro.